Welcome to the Divine Hangout. I'm your host, Hillary Jubilee. It is my intention that when you listen to this podcast, you experience an increase in peace, abundance, and divine miracles in your life experience. If you love all things spirituality, wellness, healing, manifestation, and miracles, you are in the exact right place at the exact right time. Let's enter the portal together. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Divine Hangout. It's another episode, and today we're talking about a manifestation technique that I wanted to tell you guys that I used. So what's going on in my life right now is I moved in with my boyfriend recently. So we have been together not even 4 months. We've known each other not even 4.5 months. And it's just a when you know situation. And we're just like, if I'm gonna be sleeping over all the time, we may as well just move in. And this, it's just very serendipitous because I am sitting in my lash room. I do lash extensions and sugaring and things like that, like aesthetics from home. I have a small home business doing that. And today was my first day doing that out of this house. So, and previously I was living in my parents' basement suite. And so you can imagine, I am 30, I turned 30 this year, and I have just been like, hey, like, there's nothing wrong with it, no self-judgment, gotta like love yourself and like all of that. And the city that I live in is really expensive to like live in and all of this. But I was a little bit, had some moments where I'm like, hey, it's like, I don't really want to live in my parents' basement suite. No judgment if you do. It's like, it's a smart move. I still paid rent, but it was way below market rent. Anyway, point being, I wanted to get out of there. Love my parents. It was a good living situation, but just like the vibe of like living in your parents' basement suite, I just was like kind of over it. So it's just serendipitous because thinking back to my last relationship, which if you watch my channel or have listened to my podcast in the past, then you know that my last relationship was super toxic and it ended really dramatically. But anyway, I really was like trying to manifest moving in with my partner. Thank God that never happened because it was not well, and it was just like so much, like it just kept on getting pushed, and it was just like a sore point where I was like, one of my big manifestations was to like move in with my partner. And all of my big manifestations seem to just elude me because, people are your biggest energy blocks. The first place I heard that said was Anita Aguilar's podcast, Manifesting Money podcast. Shout out to Anita. And when she said that in the podcast, people are your biggest energy blocks. It's like, it really hit me. At first I was really resistant to it. I was like, no, like you can manifest anything and you can manifest it. Like you can, but at the same time, like, how are you being treated? And like, what are the people in your reality making you feel? And so as soon as I cut that energy out of my experience, then things just like started moving so fast. So to get back to like the manifestation technique that I'm going to talk about, which is basically like just an element of imagining that you can use to upgrade anything. So what it is basically is, in my old place, what I would do is, like, if I were to be moving out soon, then I would want to savor and appreciate where I live now more, rather than focusing on, like I want to get out of here, like everything wrong, like rather than being down on myself about it, or like judging myself, or like, why isn't it happening yet? Focusing on the feeling of, if I'm about to move out of here, then I'm going to soak up living alone for the last bit. Like, living alone is awesome. Like, everyone should do it. That was one good thing. Like, focus on the good in your situation and add the element of the soaking up and the gratitude of your now situation, because you're in a transition period. So what I did was like the energy of the feeling of like the anticipation of moving, like I'm moving soon, so I need to soak up the now and soak up and just enjoy living alone and like the feeling of that. Like, so long before any of the plans and long before I even met Joe, I would do this. Like, I would imagine like the feeling of savoring my last days. And you can do this with a job, you can do this with a car. So like, if you're in a job that you want to get out of, you could soak up the feeling and like really, like, I don't know, sometimes when you get good at a job and you get into a rhythm, sometimes that is like really underrated, where like you don't really have to think much. You can just, I mean, lots of people like to be challenged at their jobs, but it's like sometimes it's nice, you just want to go and you know what you're doing and it's just like easy and like second nature, and you can just, you know, whatever elements of the job that are like that you can savor because you know something better, like you're on your way to something better. So I'm gonna savor my last days. Like, there's something about like everything is just like in transition, nothing stays the same. The only constant is change. So like, another side note on this, like my friends and I were just messaging about, my one friend is going to Tofino, which is a little tiny city up island. I live on an island called Vancouver Island in BC, Canada, and I live at the bottom of the island in Victoria. And Tofino is at the top, not at the top, but like a few hours up north. And it's a really beautiful beach town, and just my friends and I used to go there every year. And my one friend is going there with her partner for a week, and I just said, oh, like I miss our annual trips because our friend group isn't all really together anymore. But that's just an example of like, we did that annually for like 3 years or something like that. And like just savoring your life, because it's not always going to be the same. There's going to be change. And so like adding that element in manifesting. So like, yeah, with the job, savoring, okay, like if I just put my 2 weeks in, or if I know I'm going to put my 2 weeks in soon, then how am I going to act? Like, I'm going to be excited for what's coming. Like, there's something new on the way. I'm going to be enjoying, I'm going to be like, treat my coworkers with respect and love, and like, just really like bringing your full and you're bringing your all to the job, because you're just savoring your last bit there. You know, it's coming to an end soon. And just that element, that like imaginal feeling element of like, this is coming to an end soon, so I'm going to savor it. So same thing with like a car. If like you need an upgrade for your car, sometimes you like name your car, or like you get attached, like I would be driving, like I did this with my car. Like I drove a Volkswagen Beetle for a while, and it break down so much. It like caused me so much problems, like always costing me so much money to fix because it was an old car. And like, yeah, it was just a disaster. But I just would drive my Luna the Love Bug with my hands around the wheel and be like, and just like, I would imagine that I was driving like a reliable car that didn't break down, a newer one. I would imagine that. And then like soak up, like, these are my last days driving this car. Like, you know, it's my good old car, like just soaking up. And so basically the technique is like, whatever you're trying to upgrade from, soak in and appreciate, and like have the element of knowing that your days are numbered with this. So we're soaking up and we're appreciating it right now, because we know it's not going to be in our life any longer. We're going to be upgrading soon. So like the element of just like appreciating it in the now, and then the element of knowing that something better is coming. So that is the technique. And I did that with moving. It was like, okay, I'm going to live alone for only so much longer. And then, you know, and then here we are. This is my, I'm in my last room in my partner Joe's place. And yeah, it's really magical that it's coming together. Like all of my big manifestations, tons of travel, soulmate, like all of these things just started flowing so much in when I cut out the toxic negative energy that was bringing me down. So that is the video for today. I love you and I thank you for being here, and hit the like button if you're on YouTube, subscribe if you're on YouTube, and rate me a review if you're on the podcast. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.